begin by placing your feet with your toes where it will be shoulder width apart, toes are forward facing. And think about your hips being lined up over your ankles and your shoulders over your hips. So we have nice, firm posture. This is called mountain pose. Our hands are just at our side, gently, and we're engaging our legs. Our feet are pressing into the mat. Your toes and your heels are all equally balanced and contacting the mat equally. Okay, so this is mountain pose. So let's talk about breathing. You want to breathe through your nose, and as the air comes in, your diaphragm is going down and your belly is going out, and you consciously just letting that flow in as deeply as you can, and then exhale, it all comes up. But it's all happening down here in your lower abdominal area. If you sing, this is the thing that's moving when we're singing, because we're controlling our breath with those big long breaths. So take a breath in, maybe 4 counts long, and then exhale and just feel it coming out. And inhale again, being very aware of that sensation of in and out. So as we do our yoga practice today, we're going to continue the deep breath that goes all the way down and fills our lungs completely. And now we'll raise our hands as we inhale up. Hands go over the head, and then exhale. Now you can take your arms all the way up and touch your hands together, or you can just stop. If you have tight shoulders, you can stop anywhere along the way and then just come back down as you exhale. So inhale again, and exhale. So we're becoming really aware of our breath through this motion. And exhale down. We'll begin a little bending. So bring your hands down to the side, maybe wiggle your fingers a little bit, wiggle your toes, and plant them back down on the mat. And taking your right arm, inhale up. And if you want, you can just bend your side so that you feel a long stretch through your side body here. And your other arm is going to the floor. But as you do this, you're keeping this area straight. Hips and shoulders are kind of lined up here. So we're not bending forward, and we're not bending back. We're just side to side. And then you can exhale that out, down. So again, we'll do the other arm. Inhale up and barely tip to the side. Just feel a slight stretch, and then exhale. I'm going to let you continue that for 2 more breaths on your own pace, coordinating with the breath. Okay, and now just place your hands above your knees, somewhere on your thighs, and if you want to wiggle your toes just to get them alive again. We're going to bend down. I'm going to show you from the side. We're just going to bend like we're going to sit in a chair, but we're not going to go down, excuse me, all the way, just slightly, like this. And we're just holding this. This is called chair pose. In prenatal yoga, when we do chair pose, we don't put our arms above our shoulders, so they come out here. In regular yoga, they go clear up, and you get really deep into it, and your feet are close together. With you, your feet are at least shoulder distance apart. You come into the bend, you round your back a little bit so you're not arching your back, and then you can bring your arms up, and you breathe. Take it in. Let's do 3 breaths here. And if it's bothering your neck or anything, you just bring your hands down. Slowly bring your hands down and straighten all the way up. And then we're going to do a slight twisting motion. With prenatal yoga, we have to be careful with any twisting. So don't do this yet, because if you twist your lower abdominal area, there's a chance of pulling the placenta loose. And so we don't twist down here at all. We're going to just focus on chest and shoulder area when we twist. So we're going to be very careful with that. So bending down into that chair pose again. Take your right hand and just cross it over and place it on your left hand. Then with an inhalation, you're forward, and then as you exhale, you just look over your shoulder with your head, and you think about pulling your left shoulder back just a little bit, just to open up the chest. Then you exhale to the center, cross your hand, and then inhale as you look over your right shoulder, exhale to center. And then this time, we're back on the left side, I guess, and we're going to hold it for 1 breath, and then back to center. And then do the other side, inhale, and then exhale, and then do 1 more breath. I don't mean hold your breath, I mean hold the pose when I say that. And then back to the center and stand up. Okay, so now your hips and your back might be feeling a little like they're a little tired. So just going side to side and pulling as you lean one way. You really feel that muscle here in your hip. It usually feels really good. And you go to whatever degree you feel like on that. Another variation then is to put your hands on your back, on your lower back here, and then just draw your shoulders back as you breathe in. And then you can bend your knees slightly and then just push your thigh area and your hips forward, pulling your shoulders back, and then come back to neutral, straight up and down. Inhale, as you push forward, squeeze your glutes, and then come back. Let's do that 2 more times. Give your back support with your hands, pull your shoulders back, and exhale as you come forward again. And then the last time, and forward. Very good. Bring your hands forward again, and we're going to curl. We're going to focus on rounding this area now. And so with your feet planted far apart, just bend over till you kind of get a little of an L shape here, and your hands can still be up here for support, but you're just bending forward a little bit. Baby, as you get in pregnancy farther, you can really spread your feet apart, so there's plenty of room for baby here when you do this pose. So rounding the back and focusing on that lower spine area, not arching. And breathing. It's a little tricky to breathe here and fill up your lungs, but nevertheless, that's your goal, to breathe as deeply as you can. And then bending your knees slightly, come on up, slowly rounding up and bringing your shoulders back. So shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. Okay, how are you guys feeling? Thumbs up? Alright, so let's widen our stance now. So your feet are out. We're gonna do a pose that is really strengthening for the pelvic floor. So your feet are about a 45-degree angle out from your heels, and our shoulders are over hips. And as we do this, we're gonna bend our knees, but we're gonna keep everything upright, so we're still standing from our hips up, and it's just our legs that are gonna bend here. And we're engaging, so this engages the pelvic floor. Inhale your arms up, and then as we come down, you can flex your arms. This gives your arms a little workout, and then come back up, inhale up. And then exhale down. This is called goddess pose. And you don't have to go too deep to get the effect of this. It's really nice to relax your arms as you go up, and exhale, flex your biceps here, and come on up. Let's do 2 more of those. Don't want to overdo you here. And then bring your hands all the way down under the baby. And this pose is a sunflower pose. And it's a nice time to just connect with your baby and say, "Hi baby, how you doing?" So we're going to inhale up, and then exhale down and connect with your touch. Emotionally, you're making a connection as well. "Hi baby, keep growing well, I love you," whatever you want to say. All right, that's probably enough of that. So bring your hands down, and we'll bring our hands to prayer. That kind of seals our meditation sometimes, putting our thoughts into our heart. And we'll bring our feet now back to our shoulders just by doing a little heel toe lift until we're back to our mountain pose again. Okay, let's roll the shoulders. Just bring them forward. Nice, and then go the other way. And if you want, you can just bring your shoulders kind of up to your ears, and then exhale down, inhale up. And then down. And one more. And we'll come down to the mat and be seated at this point. So get yourself down to the mat in a safe way, one leg at a time. And this is an opportunity for you to grab a blanket or a pillow and just sit on that to get your hips up away from your legs so they don't hurt when you sit. Some people don't need this because they just don't. But if you haven't been exercising or doing yoga, I recommend, or sitting on the floor. Maybe you're sitting on the floor with kids a lot. But so one foot is out front and another one is tucked back toward your thigh, your leg. So it's just called an easy pose. We're going to inhale our arms up. And as you do this, think about lifting your rib cage up off that baby. And you can just reach one hand up to the ceiling a little bit as you work everything out of the rib cage up and out of baby. Take one more breath and then exhale your arms down to the side of you, to the back of you a little bit. And you're going to lean back and open up the chest. Breathing in, look up at the ceiling, and then just hold this, focusing on your shoulder, scapula going toward each other, flexing your arms, opening up your chest, and breathing that deep breath. You can lower your chin toward your chest now, and then lean forward, walk your hands back up to the side of you. Okay? So we'll do that twist again that we did before, but it's going to feel different because we're seated. Focus on the hip bones staying forward, and inhale and bring your right hand to your left knee. And then as you exhale, just turn your shoulder. You can take your opposite hand and put it behind your back on the floor so that you can really open up this chest area more. So inhale here as you look over, keeping your abdomen forward, and then exhale as you come forward again. So again, keep focusing on everything forward except your shoulders. Drop your left hand down next to your bottom. And breathe. Open up the chest, open up that shoulder. Take one more breath. And then unwind back to the center. So another thing we can do now is put your hands back behind you so you're supported. And then we'll stretch your legs out straight in front of you. And again, opening up the chest area. We're lifting the ribs up off the baby. We're lengthening. And again, you can look up at the ceiling. Take a couple breaths here. And then bring your chin slowly down to your chest. We're going to bring one foot up so your knee is pointing at the ceiling. Now your leg is bent. And then bring the other leg up. Walk your feet out a little bit so they're kind of wide. And get comfortable with your hands so you can support your weight. And then it's windshield wipers with the knees. A lot of women really love the way this feels to their hips. So you can go down just a slight amount, or you can drop the knee down toward the mat more. It's just up to you. There's no right or wrong except that you don't want to strain anything. Continue that breath. Focusing in and letting go. Okay, let's come back. Walk your hands up and pull your feet out in front of you again. You might want to readjust on your little blanket or pillow. Bringing your feet in. Let's put soles of feet together. And with this pose, if you're really tight and your focus is up here because it hurts, you put a pillow under your leg, and that supports. So put one on both sides. If this is hurting, it's like making your abdominal muscles curl forward or anything like uncomfortable. And if not, you're ready to go. We're going to just grab our ankles and focus on breathing in and lengthening the spine. So I'll show you from the side. I'm sitting up. Oops. Shoulders are over hips. I'm concentrating on lifting and lengthening. So this is not the motion I want with your legs. It's this. So when you get this down, if you want, you can go forward and you'll really feel it in your groin area. But sitting up straight is just enough. You should be able to feel a little pull in that upper leg groin area. We don't want to use our abdominal muscles particularly. And then take one more breath here. And then we'll just let our legs go back into the easy pose. Right here. Okay. So I think we will call it a day. Let me just give you some meditative thoughts here for the end of your workout. So you're sitting comfortably on your pillow, your legs are in a comfortable position. If you're not feeling that, if your legs are kind of hurting, then you can sit on your couch or anywhere that you feel okay. So with a breath in, you can bring your hands to prayer, hands. Your back is nice and aligned, your shoulders are down, and breathe in with your eyes closed, and just be very aware of that deep breath. And as it goes out, be aware of it just filling the space around you. Often I really enjoy doing a focused breathing exercise where I breathe in a quality that I need right now, whether it's patience or peace, understanding, compassion, love, and breathe it in. So choose a word. As you inhale, imagine that quality just filling up your body. Maybe it's something like a fragrance would fill your nose and then permeate your body. Maybe it's light that accompanies that emotion. And as you breathe in, feel it come down to your fingertips. Maybe swirl around between the hands and the heart. Feel the breath all the way down to your abdominal area, to your sits bones, to your toes. And then as you're exhaling, you let go of anything that is blocking you from feeling that emotion. And you just focus on letting go. You let the breath just cleanse you, fill you, release you. And I recommend that you take some time every day, just for a couple of minutes, just doing a meditation like this. It's very healing, it's very energizing. And you can place your hands on your baby while you do it and send a message of love or whatever you want to that baby. You can also put your hands just on your knees in a cupping shape, as if you're receiving blessings or any positive thing, and you're just there with your hands cupping, ready to get it in your life. Or you can turn your hands palms down and just feel like you're grounding into the earth, into your foundations, your testimony, your faith, with your hands down like that. So there's a lot of options with that little meditation. It's a beautiful one that I think can bring a lot of peace no matter what phase of life that you're in. So at the end of yoga meditations, people often, it's a tradition to say namaste. And namaste is an ancient word in the Sanskrit language that means the light in me sees and honors the light in you. And it's a showing of respect, and it's just an acknowledgement that we all have light and love in us that we share. So namaste, my dears. I hope that, and you can say back to me, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna get closer where I can see you better.